So today we're going to talk about a skill you use literally every single day, probably without even thinking twice about it. And that is your incredible power to adapt how you communicate to fit basically any situation you find yourself in. I mean, think about it, right? The way you text your best friend is miles away from how you draft an email to a professor. And you know what? That's not you being fake. It's not inconsistent. It's actually a sign that you are a super skilled communicator. And this whole thing, it actually has a name. All right, so let's get right into the heart of it. The concept is called languaging. And trust me, it's a way bigger, way cooler idea than just the grammar rules you had to memorize back in school. Here's the main idea you need to grab onto. Languaging is the active process of making meaning. It's not just the words you pick. It's the tone of your voice, it's that perfect emoji you add to a text, or, even the powerful choice to just stay silent. It's your entire communication toolbox. This right here is a huge mental shift for a lot of us. We're moving away from this old school idea that there are these rigid, unbreakable rules. The goal isn't to be correct. The goal is to be effective for that specific person in that specific moment for that specific goal. And I love this quote because it just perfectly captures the whole idea. Think about it. You have a whole wardrobe of communication styles. You wouldn't wear a tuxedo to the beach, right? Of course not. And in the exact same way, you choose your words, your tone, and your style to fit the occasion. So, how do you make these choices? Is it just random? Nope. There's actually a really simple but powerful framework that works kind of like a GPS for your communication. And it all comes down to asking yourself just two little questions. First, who am I talking to? And second, what am I trying to achieve right now? Seriously, that's it. Your answers to just these two questions will guide every single communication choice you make from here on out. And those two core questions, your audience and your purpose, they are the starting point for absolutely everything. They determine your tone, whether you're going to be formal or casual. They decide your word choice, your structure, and even the medium you use to send the message, whether it's an email, a text, or even a TikTok. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's make this super real. We're going to take one simple little message and watch how it gets dressed up for three totally different occasions. First up, a text to a friend. Your audience is a peer, and your purpose isn't just to inform, it's also to connect. So the languaging is super casual, it's fast, and hey, it even includes an invitation. That little emoji does a ton of work, doesn't it? Okay, now let's look at the same message, but for the whole class. The audience is way bigger, a bit more formal, and the purpose is purely informational. So the tone gets more neutral, you include key details like the date, and you give a clear next step. And finally, an email to a professor. Here, the audience holds a position of authority, and your purpose is to respectfully confirm something. So you see the formal reading, the polite phrasing, and that very specific question. It's the same core message, but three completely different outfits. Now, let's take this concept out into the wild and see how it works in some more complex, real-world situations. This is where you can really start to see the strategic genius behind languaging. Just look at this comparison. On the left, for a scholarship application, the purpose is all about persuasion. The language is formal, it's packed with impressive data, and it's framing a whole story of leadership. On the right, for the group chat about that same study group, the purpose is just simple coordination. It's all about efficiency. It's the same person making smart choices to get two very different jobs done. Here's another fantastic example. The lab summary on the left, it's using super specific technical language for an expert audience who needs that precision. But the social post on the right takes the exact same finding and translates it for the public, using metaphors and emojis to make it totally accessible and, engaging. And, languaging isn't just about what you produce, it's also about your own process. This quote really highlights something called translanguaging, using all your languages to think. Brainstorming in the language you're most comfortable in isn't a crutch, it's a cognitive superpower that can make your final work so much clearer and stronger. So, this brings us to what might be the most important takeaway of all. You are already an expert at this. You really are. The final step is to just become more conscious of it and to really start appreciating the incredible communication range you already have. Here's how you can start doing that. First, just start to name your choices. Put a label on the style you're using. Then, notice your range, all those different outfits you wear. Third, reflect on the impact. Did it work? Did it get the job done? And finally, value your entire toolkit. Every language, every dialect, every style you have is a valid and powerful tool. Because at the end of the day, that's the big idea. Stop thinking about communication as a set of rules that you might break. Start seeing it for what it is, a beautiful, complex instrument. You already know how to play it, so the only question left is, how will you choose to play it?